Thank you for coming back. I just wanted to show you the technique I use to swirl my peppermints. The peppermints are a cane. The edges are straight in towards the center. I'll definitely do one before Christmas, but I wanted to show you how I get the swirl. And then, so those are the peppermints. And then, of course, here is what we'll do today are these. It's the same method, but I'm going to marble instead of do a cane. These are extremely, extremely addictive. And creating the swirl is kind of fun. I don't do it often enough to have real control over it. I'm just throwing a few colors together and I'm going to marble. But I don't have enough control over it to really have it consistent the way I want it. I have to practice before I make my peppermints on scrap clay to get the swirls right again before I take my cane slices. But I'm just marbling. And the surface I'm working on is very important. It's glass. It looks like paper, and I know usually I do work on paper, but you need 2 pieces of glass for this technique. You could probably do it on a mirror as well, but you need the glass hard surface. So I'm just doing some marbling. It is a really fun technique, and I do hope you guys use it. It's great to do with scraps of clay from canes. It's good to do with leftovers. It's just kind of fun. So I'm going to roll these little pieces into balls that I made. You start with a ball. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I think this one looks interesting, so we'll start with this one. I might do a couple. So basically what happens is you roll it into a ball. Now if you're covering canes, you take a piece of scrap clay. I usually use white. I roll it into a ball. You take 2 cane slices and you put them on opposite sides and you make the ends meet. Then you smooth it and roll it back into a ball. But you start with a ball. I have it on glass. And this is another piece of glass. I bought this on sale for like 99 cents maybe. It's a regular piece of glass. It was from a frame, a picture frame. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm wrapped around the camera, so hopefully this will work. But what you want to do, you choose one direction and roll the glass in one direction. And I usually do this rotation 50 to 100 times for what I like and for the peppermints. I don't necessarily count them, but sometimes I do. But you keep going in a circle. If you tilt it too far one way or another, or if you if you push or pull too much, you get an oval, which is what's happening here. So see, it's slightly oval, but that's exactly how I do my peppermint. I take the canes, I wrap them around the ball, my cane slices, and then I do that till it pulls in. It pulls in the clay from the outside. And we'll do this again. Hopefully I have a little better luck with my pushing and pulling. Since I'm wrapped around the camera, I'm at a really weird angle. But it takes the clay, and you want to make sure you keep your glass clean and free from clay debris because it holds on to it. You could see it swirl. Like I said, it takes me some practice getting back into a groove where I'm not getting it back to that oval shape. With the marbling, it's pretty fun because it's harder to control the exact outcome. It's always going to be a surprise. But you would bake these. They're pretty varnished. It's pretty with doing translucence. I'll do this one more time. I'll do this a little faster. Usually I have better results going faster. So there we go.
Don't add.
I'm making something.
Why?
Because I want to. You little cutie. My nieces came in. So yeah, so that's the swirly lentil bead technique. There's some great artists who mastered the swirl perfectly, where they always get a wonderful result. This one is one that I didn't sell. It pulls in from the outside. So the cane slices, one came over, when you roll it into a ball and you wrap them around, if you have them meeting exactly on the edge all the time, it's pretty close. If you're able to have all of them meet, and most of the time I can, but for some reason this side of the cane came over a little bit, so it started pulling towards the center. But it's basically done, it's done almost like the citrus cane. I'm not wrapping the triangles around or having anything around the outer edge. It's just the triangles going straight in. And I do, it's 12, so it's 6 of the color, 6 of the white. As you can see, that one's a little bit better on the sides. But the more that you do it, the better it becomes. It takes me about 10 or 15 minutes of practicing making the swirls before I'm really comfortable and I go ahead and I take the cane slices and start forming them around the balls. But like I said, it is very, very addictive. It's fun, and it's a fun way to use great way to use scrap clay. You can marble like I just did, or you could put together tons of different canes. Even people take cane slices and put little tiny cane slices in different places around the ball of clay before swirling it, and that looks really cool too. You should look up swirly lentil beads and see if you could find some cool images. There's amazing artists who do that technique. I do it, since I'm food, I do it primarily for my peppermints, but it doesn't mean if you work with polymer clay that you can't do it for your other stuff too. So that's the swirly lentil bead technique, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll do one more since I'm filming anyway. So I am going to show you, here, let me start in the middle of the screen here. So I rock the glass in a circular motion, and you could do it clockwise or counterclockwise. You just have to make sure it's the same direction all the time, otherwise it will and then I flatten it by pushing down slightly, and that gives you the nice lentil shape where it's the flattened circle. So you do your rocking and then you press very gently as you continue to spin, and it will be swirly on both sides. So there we go. Got a chance to see a few. These are all done from marbling. You can do lots of different colors. I did 3 colors with white. I like when white shows up because it brightens up the bead. I have the colors mixed with about half translucent, half color. so that way you could see the white underneath some of the color. But you can do it with any colors you want. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for coming back. I hope that you enjoyed this, but I was really wanting to share it since I got a question about the peppermints and I didn't think I'd do them till about Christmas time. But yeah, this is something that a ton of people do with their canes. So I did want to show it since I did just show the citrus cane, so that way if you do like making canes and you look for canes to make, you can go ahead and use this new technique. Thanks, bye.